panel on lost characterization in Star Trek. And I'm Jay Gallops, and this is
Hunter Courtney.
Courtney. We're representing the USS Continuals, a local Star Trek fan group in the Pensacon area. And just what we wanted to talk about lost characterization and what exactly do we mean by something like that. And if you ever watched an episode of Star Trek and you're thinking they could have done more with that character, they killed them off too soon, or they just had the one episode that was it, and you never saw them again.
Just like a background character that was always there.
Yeah, maybe so. And then that too, just kind of in the shadows and not really.
You knew they were. They had a line here too, but it just never developed anything character-wise.
Just didn't really develop, or maybe there's just certain particular aspects that you thought were great. If only they did this. If only the writers did this. This could be again this could be some guest stars that they had just a one-time thing, or this could be even regular series characters that we had seasons for. It's like, what were they there for? It felt like, and just a lot of ideas about certain characters that that had that kind of limitations. But let me just kind of go through and we've kind of got some pictures here to kind of work with us here. Let's just start off with her because she is here this weekend, Denise Crosby. Let's just talk a little about Sela. And Sela was kind of a character, kind of a plot point that
she came in a couple of times in that one season.
Actually, she first appeared. She was kind of a voiceover in The Mind's Eye, when Geordi was kidnapped by the Romulans. And then we finally saw her at the end of Redemption Part 1.
Yeah, that's right.
In Redemption 2-parter, at the end of the 4th season, beginning of the 5th season. And then we saw her again in Unification Part 1 and 2, when we saw Spock in The Next Generation.
Yeah, when he was trying to
reunify the
Vulcans and the Romulans.
And that's all we saw of Sela.
Yeah.
And it's kind of some of the things that I note about Sela is, of course, she is the daughter of an alternate universe, Tasha Yar,
who traveled back in time to help out the Enterprise C.
Correct.
The Enterprise C. Yeah, she went back in time through a wormhole, if I'm not mistaken, or
it was a temporal anomaly that kind of brought back to a critical point between Federation and Klingon relations, and she helped save the day.
And realized that she wasn't supposed to be there.
Exactly.
So she decided to go back and give her life another shot.
But one of the things, and then we found her in Redemption Part 1, and Part 2 we get the whole backstory about, she's the daughter of Tasha Yar, and this Romulan general, I believe it was.
Which kind of confused me because it looked like she was going to go with the guy who played Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore, who ended up taking over the Enterprise C when his captain was killed in that battle right before they went to the anomaly.
Yeah. But one of the things that I think with Sela, if you notice, there's a lot there because, or there was a lot wasn't there, potential being there. She hasn't even met all the TNG crew. I'm talking about, you guys, Tasha, and they knew Tasha, that she was a series regular in the first season, and then you get to Sela, and she hasn't met Riker, she hasn't met Geordi, she certainly hasn't met Worf. I thought those would have been a lot of great interactions and drama and conflict that they could have done. Worf knew Tasha, but Sela's mother did not know Worf. Because you remember yesterday's Enterprise, there were no Klingons, they were at war with the Klingons, so Tasha was not on, didn't have that same relation. So that's kind of an interesting, kind of a little twist that they could have exploited.
Because at that point, there would have been a war, and Worf would have never been adopted by his Earth parents.
Exactly. And
Or just would have been left as a screaming.
As far as we know, we don't know what happened to this.
Maybe the Borg would have taken him for their kid project.
Maybe so. And of course there's Tasha's legacy Sela can, you know, what is, how does Sela play in that, in all of that? When she has her meeting with Picard, she's talking about, you know, when her mother betrayed her father and they're tried to run off, you know, all of her humanity, you know, died that day. Didn't really. And that's, you know, there's people say things that they don't really mean, or they don't even know they don't really mean that. They say things because they're hurt, that's the way they're dealing with it, and it's not necessarily true in kind of the extreme circumstances that you can put the characters in.
And they were all kind of shocked because really it was the only guy in it who knew about the alternate reality. Like they didn't know.
They didn't know whether to believe.
And as far as they knew, she drowned in a car near the end of the first season.